What is up, peeps? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to some more daily CS news. We got a lot of crazy stories out there that I hope you guys all enjoy. They will be timestamped down below. Let's jump into some of the juicy stuff out there, the expensive stuff, okay? Because apparently G2 has a lot of money, as the reported and alleged rumor going out there brought up by Spunj, and apparently a source that he heard from was the buyout price of Malbs. That being Malbs set to transfer to G2, presumably to replace someone like Nexa. We don't know the full extent of the G2 roster changes and what they will be, but Malbs, a heavy note in that, to which Spunj does say he heard over $500,000 just to get him on the roster. What?
This is someone within the industry who would know what buying players would cost, because they maybe would be wheeling and dealing as far as buying players would be, as it was much north of 500.
Fix. For poor English speakers, this means a lot higher than 500,000.
Like a DJ 32K, like with the.
I just want to make it clear, you know, for let's say there's, you know, Russian audience, for example, that's going to translate this through YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
yeah,
this is like, you're saying a lot higher than 500K.
You guys are bang on. Like, to spend that much money and for it not to be the perfect fit, or for there not to be another. Like, if you're buying one player for that much money, let's just say, I don't know, let's say 500 anyway. 500 is a lot of money. $500,000 is a lot of money, guys. That's a significant amount of money. We're just writing numbers.
I mean, I thought we were moving past the day of these buyouts. You know, I feel like it was 4 to 5 years ago we kept on seeing the several $100,000 transfer rate. And yes, we do still see them from time to time, but when's the last time we saw a several $100,000 transfer fee just to start paying the guy's salary? There was a mixed response out there. Of course, there's some pride for the North American fans of, wow, he must be that good. And M80 had him really locked in that they charged a good price for him, or that he has the talent that G2 wants him enough to spend $500,000, over $500,000, just to get him on the team. Others thinking this is, you know, maybe a risky move to put that much money into a guy who is untested into a roster he's never played alongside. I think every point has a little bit of validity to it. And when I heard the number, I gotta be honest, I was very surprised. That seems like a lot of money. But G2 is also presumably one of the few esports organizations, at least we have heard from time to time, who can actually be profitable, given their brand and how they've been operating as a content team and across their success in esports. You got to give them credit where it's due. But allegedly paying over $500,000 to get Malbs to their CS roster, what do you guys think about that one? And I also want to give my apology to some of you out there who are possibly offended by this one. I didn't expect this to get screenshotted and to make the news. If you guys missed the announcement of Malbs actually saying his goodbye to M80, had some nice kind words of his exit from that team. M80 also posting a video of their own, which was quickly noted as very somber, very down tones of very sad. And people were wondering why was this the video you chose for Malb exiting your team, you know?
My lord, Malbs is wild. What a check, what a clear, what a triple kill. Oh, Snows! That is disgusting! An ace to close, it's 11 to 1.
And this was quickly getting a lot of responses out there, a lot of quote tweets around it, and I decided to reply with this. You know, props to a grid player, gone too soon. I thought it was very clear that I was making a joke because the video had made it seem like Malbs had passed away. But it was also obvious, if you're a CS fan, that he was well and alive, considering he quoted the tweet and said his thanks to the team. All right, I thought that joke was apparent and obvious, and I got screenshotted, and then I quickly deleted because I didn't want to be involved in whatever this was. So I did want to quickly say an apology to any of you guys who were offended by that. I shouldn't have treaded on those toes. And the only one I cared about was Malbs. All right, if I offended Malbs anyway, I made sure to reach out to him. But I thought it was pretty obvious that was a joke. So that did happen. If you guys are offended, I'm sorry about that. If you guys never come back to this channel again, I completely understand that I made a joke like that in haste. And there were some people responding oh, you should have stood on business. When have I ever stood on business? I'm the softest motherfucker out there. And that's why I deleted it after 2 minutes. I was like, all right, this is not, I'm not here to be talked about on all these different pages like that. I made a sensitive joke or anything. So oh my goodness gracious, that was stupid me. And to think that we're just getting into this news video, like we have so many good topics out there, and thanks to all of you guys who've been leaving comments. That's why I started leaving timestamps as well. The 25th birthday of our beloved CS or Counterstrike. Yes, it was a few days ago, I believe, if I remember correctly, June 19th or 18th, whatever it was, you guys know the date. 25 years of an incredible game, one of the best shooters in FPS games of all time, which likely if you guys are watching this, you think it's the single best. And with that, people speculating, is it going to be an operation? Is it going to be a brand new case? We saw the potential rumors of a lot of brand new maps coming to the game, and it was long awaited on that day and even the day before. And eventually, what does CS2 hit us with? It's a 2-line update where at least they fixed a case, and people were very let down for now. I still do think something big is coming. Ultimately, I think it's probably going to be a bit of a letdown for more of the casual player base out there, but still, I think it'll be bigger than what they've given us so far. So were we trolled for the 25th birthday of Counter-Strike? As of me recording, yes. Will there be something big still looming and we will post about it? Yes. Hopefully soon. And really quickly, a shout out to our esports betting sponsor. I told you guys last video I've been doing pick'ems with them for big events. We do have a couple more big events. I believe Cologne is going to be one where I'll be giving my predictions. My predictions are often wrong. Please bet responsibly. 21 plus only. Thanks to Thunderpick for even making this stuff possible. And speaking of what I did not think was possible was those people slowly, potentially coming back to Counter-Strike. And you guys, I talked about this last video. People are very, very serious nowadays when this kind of news breaks, but I'm very happy because we now have rumors, thanks to HLTV. Full article and reads will always be down below, as apparently Coach Chet is set to return to Counter-Strike ever since retiring from coaching in CSGO all the way back in 2020. We don't know too much apart from this rumor of him potentially returning and leaving Valorant, coming back to CS, which I'll say it, I'm excited for. Also, reading this article sparked the memory, as they mentioned, I didn't realize his last coaching job in CSGO was for the coveted Australian lineup who was with 100 Thieves. Was it just like for 2 events? It was too short. It was like a couple of events and they did very well. And then 100 Thieves was like, yo, peace, we're out. We're not coming back to Counter-Strike. I forgot he played a part in that roster at all. And I was like, that is such a throwback to think about the last time we saw 100 Thieves in CS. And I would still love to see them come back. So maybe this is Chet's opportunity to bring them back, or an Australian group, or a North American team, more likely. We even had Cooper having his 2 cents on this, to which I am like, yo, if we just shave Chet's head, shave 5 North American guys' heads, and then we put those 6 heads together, we have a major 2025 North American champion on NA soil. Are you guys with me in the comment section? If you're not, that's okay. I totally understand that, but regardless, I'm super excited. We'll see if Chet does officially return. And speaking of returning, we have some old logos returning ahead of the actual 25th Counter-Strike birthday, which I don't think is tied to this. I think Evil Geniuses, based on a recent interview with their CEO, has kind of remained that they're going to only focus on presence in Valorant, but it's actually Evil Geniuses teasing and now officially going back to their original logo. And I was talking to someone in our Discord about this, the amount of iterations. I think it was like 4 to 5, maybe more iterations of their logo over time. It took me a while to find out what their newest logo was, because I've seen so many Evil Geniuses logos that I finally realized their OG one, yeah, it definitely is the best, and they've now officially brought it back. What might that mean? I have no clue. Probably nothing for Evil Geniuses, as they have been the face of a lot of flack and backlash, and a lot of it rightfully so for their operations in esports. I will say, if they are to return to CS or to return to some sort of semblance across a wider variety of esports, I wish them the best of luck. Resurrecting a brand like that is not easy, but it could start with something as simple as a refreshed logo. We'll wait for more. And then we got the classic, guys. You know, why not bring some more esports organizations public? We've seen it from plenty out there. We talked about, of course, FaZe Clan going public. The once touted billion-dollar esports organization did not work out for them, although they still do hold several of the best esports rosters in the world. Again, got to give credit where it's due with the roller coaster ride that FaZe Clan is. Beyond that, we've also seen Fnatic take a similar approach, which I believe will be similar to what we now see with NIP, Ninjas in Pajamas. cameras. Again, thanks to HLTV, and their sources will be linked down below. Apparently, they too want to go public and maybe off some of their shares and raise some funds and capital from the public as well. And with this, we found out a little bit more about their assets and maybe what they value their brand as, which might to the public eye seem a bit high, and almost like we're back in 2016 to 2020 era where the esports valuations were extraordinarily high, but maybe that's just my 2 cents. But it seems like they want to sell off a portion of shares. I believe Fnatic did this almost kind of like a crowdfunding-like strategy. And we also saw this from Sentinels, although Sentinels was not largely successful because it was reported they were losing a lot of money. They then sold shares for people to buy in. They wanted this much money. They only got this much money. So we'll see if NIP has a more diehard fan base of Counterstrike fans who actually do want to buy in. Although, I can't give you guys financial advice. I think it's pretty well-known information that a lot of esports teams are not making money. I'll be curious to see how many people respond well to this and actually want a piece of NIP. Regardless of how you feel about that, it's a touted, notorious organization, not just in CS, I would also say in esports, but especially in Counter-Strike. So if you guys want to co-own and buy into NIP, apparently they will be going public, which, again, it's crazy. It's 2024 and teams are still doing this, so I wish them the best of luck. And then finally, for all of you guys, I saw a comment out there. Someone said, get this guy a mic stand. I kind of enjoy this. Do you guys, like, I had the arm there and it didn't give me much freedom. I kind of like to move around and talk in my hand. What do you guys want from this? I eventually want to upgrade. I don't know, this is too, I actually thought I would do like a bar stool and like show more of my body and get rid of the table. And we'll have to have this still here too, but like, any ideas, let me know. As it was actually an interview with Esports GG, they've had some great interviews as of late. One, EliGE, we actually talked about earlier this week about NA teams and him wanting his team to go bald over at Complexity. Did not work out. A great read, though, is he also talks about a former teammate long ago, that being Twistzz, a North American companion of his, and talks about his potential to IGL and him just being a smart individual player. And I thought it was really cool to see players still being complimentary of each other, especially because they are technically competitors. So here's what EliGE had to say about Twistzz. As the reporter asked him, we've seen some news that your former teammate Twistzz is now a secondary caller in Team Liquid, and communities are discussing the possibility of him becoming the IGL. What do you think about the star player moving into the IGL role? It's a great question, by the way. EliGE says, I think anyone can be an IGL if they really want to. It's just something you have to dedicate yourself to. As Device said in the interview, you'll have less individual time. Twistzz has been a strong performer for them on Liquid. Moving into the IGL role might hurt his performance, which teams always need to consider. Being an IGL means focusing on the macro game, coming with new strategies, and working with the coach. It could hurt him individually, but I think anyone can be an IGL if they want to. I just think it's a negative thing if you were flip-flopping between IGL and non-IGL. I've experienced that on Liquid with past rosters. You are the IGL, and now this guy is the IGL. I think if Twistzz is ready to do it long-term, he could definitely do it since he's a smart player. And it seems like this IGL talk has been heavy-handed as of late, ever since Stu has been doing his interview. We've talked a lot about Stewie2K in his interview. We'll probably have a few more videos on that in the future about him potentially wanting to IGL, him talking about Nico taking over and calling 100% of the time on G2. It's been a hot topic and always will be in Counter-Strike, as being IGL is certainly never an easy thing, especially when you take into consideration such a star player like Twistzz then taking on that role. But it's always going to be a great discussion about what people think they should do and what Twistzz will do and what, a team like Liquid will do, especially when Twistzz is wanted by so many other people. What does he want to do, So next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Thank you all for watching some daily CS news. My DMs are always open, stories, clips, whatever. Thank you guys for hitting me up. And thank you guys for being my little therapeutic relief here on this channel during It's crazy times out there in esports and gaming news, so it's always fun to just talk in a relaxed manner about stuff we enjoy, Till next time, take care of yourselves. We'll hopefully see you back here tomorrow. Bye.